Recording, it says recording. Hello, welcome back to After Reality. There are so many headlines. 2025 is off to a wild start. And I woke up today, and the first person I thought of was Zachary Reality, my friend who left California during the fires. I've
Mhm.
been living for your content, I'm living vicariously. And I
Thank
just wanted to
you.
check in on you because everybody is losing their minds over this TikTok ban. And I was
Yeah.
like, I have to check on him. So I
Oh
wanted to
my
see
gosh.
how you're doing and also talk to you about Matt Kirkconnell and so much more. But first and foremost,
Right.
how are you doing, cutie pie, honey
Oh my
bunch?
gosh, this is so wild that TikTok is now temporarily banned. I'm really hopeful that it's gonna come back in the next few days. It seems like a lot of people are hopeful. If not, we're gonna have to figure out a way to survive. It's been pretty crazy this year, just like living in Los Angeles, my home almost burning down. Thank God it is safe. It was close. There was a fire very close to my home. Just like being on the road for a while has been keeping me sane, staying with family, and you know just trying to live in the moment because it seems like a lot of big things are being taken away from me and all of us. I'm not alone, and that gives me comfort knowing that everyone is in this together. A bunch of us just lost our jobs. A bunch of us have know people who lost homes. It's just been really wild and sad.
It's been sad. And I did a podcast with a friend of mine in Malibu. And I think I was just, I don't have the words and I'm not there. But I mean, you can put yourself in other people's shoes. And even you leaving, I didn't realize that it was, I guess it was the LA, the Runyon Canyon fire that you were
Yeah,
so
that one was
close.
near my house. Yeah. I shared a picture on my Instagram story. I'm not gonna share it again. It's just too personal, but my neighbor took a picture from the roof, and it was just like really like
Mm.
scary and traumatizing a little bit. Luckily, I wasn't there. Like I escaped LA hours before all of this.
Yeah, you were like,
I had
"I'm
a
halfway
friend,
to
yeah.
Vegas."
I had a friend in Vegas who was, there for a convention, and she was like, she's from New York, and she was like, "You gotta come to Vegas, come see me." And with the fire warnings, I was like, "Well, like, I should probably leave now, like, just in case." And I'm like, so glad I left early. My intuition just knew.
Oh, I'm so glad you're safe and sound, but then you get a double whammy because TikTok. So I
Hmm.
wanted to touch on that
Right.
because my feed, everyone's posting like, sorry, TikTok is no longer available. And when you talk about like, I keep seeing people like, I just lost my job. And TikTok versus Instagram, I never really got into TikTok, but you have really, you found your passion through TikTok, your audience is
Yeah.
TikTok, and
I'm
you
TikTok
make
strong. I'm a OG
yeah.
TikToker.
You make your living like that, but to some people
Mhm.
that don't understand the weight of it and that people
Yeah.
have built a brand or that's how they monetize, I
Yeah.
just I can't imagine.
It's a
Can you
career.
explain a little bit of how that might be to somebody who doesn't
Yeah. I mean, this
understand?
career would not have been possible before TikTok. Like, a TikToker is a career. You are joining campaigns. You are, making videos every day, creating concepts, replying to comments, trying to gauge what your audience likes, building a relationship with your audience, scheduling lives. I mean, doing anything. Like, there's so much that goes into it, being a TikToker, being an influencer, a content creator, whatever you want to call it. And TikTok is how so many of us have literally built our careers post college, post moving to LA, just like post wanting to be in the entertainment space, but not finding a space. A lot of people like myself, we found that in TikTok, and it's
Mm,
been wild. I was so close to hitting my 500K goal. I got to 497. But you
mm.
know what? It's going to be worth it. I feel like we're going to come back. And I think, if anything, like a couple days off, just kind of like puts things into a new perspective and a new era. So if it comes back this week, I think it's going to be okay, and I'm going to be okay. But if it never comes back, it's going to be missed.
Ugh, well, you've got a good head on your shoulders, and I'm glad you're doing safe. And so you're being safe, and you're in Colorado. Uh, but
Mhm.
also, I wanted to ask you. So, does this mean you're going to be on Instagram more? Because you did an Instagram video. It's just not the same. So it's like
Well, we don't have a
somebody.
choice. I'm not going to Red Note. I don't know what that
What?
is. I don't know what lemon
I don't
is. Like,
either.
I don't trust anything anymore. Like, I feel like if TikTok could just go away, we've never seen an app or a social media go away completely in our lives. Like, literally ever.
Right.
MySpace is like
It's
still around.
shocking. Is it? Oh, I wonder if my account's still active. Ooh.
Right.
I
So
had a
the
MySpace. I had a Friendster. That's so
you're
sad. How are you holding up? Are you okay?
you're kind of like you were kind of glitching for a second, but I just feel like now
Oh,
that,
sorry.
TikTok just kind of like abandoned us, and I still hope they're coming back. Like the only thing I trust now is Instagram and YouTube because those have been around forever and they're great platforms and they're super loyal. And I think I'm going to put all my energy into those.
Hmm. Well, I just wanna see your face, and I'm sure you're a
Mhm.
little bit sad. Have you shed tears yet, or is it not
Yeah,
yet?
I think I got drunk cried last night on TikTok live for like the last hour. I had a couple of people tag me that my live was like the last thing they watched. Those are like the nicest comments. They're like, "Your TikTok was the last one I watched. You were the first person I followed." Like, it's definitely feels like the end of an era, but we're all hopeful it will come back.
Okay, well, they say Trump might reinstate it for, like, 90 days or something. I'm just, like, watching live with you, so I wanted to talk with you, but wild start to 2025. Everybody make sure you follow along on Instagram with
Right.
Zachary Reality, but Matt James and Rachel Kirkconnell, I wanted
Yeah.
to talk to you about this. I've listened to all
Mhm.
the podcasts and I can read the breakup statement or you've seen it
I'm
all. So
like,
you're
you're like,
probably
"You probably memorized it."
I know, right? Do you want me to read it out loud here just for anybody who's not up to some? I just wanted to say I can't believe that this breakup, I think it's the worst breakup I've ever seen in Bachelor Nation. There
What?
was so much, yes, the
It's
way it was rolled out. Like, and I've been through a public breakup. This was like
Well, it's
poorly
not over
handled.
yet. It's not over yet. I feel like there's gonna be a second wave of the Matt and Rachel drama where she's gonna speak, he's gonna say something. I just think that there's more important things going on right now, like the
Absolutely.
inauguration and the fires and the TikTok ban. And I think Matt and Rachel are being, considerate of that. You know what I'm saying? Like why their relationship drama, it feels so silly to talk about right now. And I love the tea. And I think that we'll
Yes,
get there hopefully by the
it
end of the
does.
week. We can get there and hopefully it gives them a few days to process and kind of digest what happened or what they want to say. I do think that we'll get more information soon, but it definitely seems like Matt broke up with her kind of fast or blindsided her in some type of way. And I'm kind of shocked that she's like subtly engaging. Her sister is commenting, she's reposting TikTok, she's liking comments. And I'm just like, whoa, that happened so fast.
Yes, exactly. Apparently, like what I saw the sisters' comments and talk about, this just all happened and again, yeah, the inauguration and TikTok ban and the LA
Right.
fires. It's hard for me to get it up for this pop culture headlines, but like I wanted to touch on the fact that Jessica Simpson and Jessica Alba just split from their husbands, one of 10 years and
Oh,
17 years. But I'm just floored at like how it was such a shocker because everybody that follows along with Rachel and Matt, they're so cute. They've been together for 4 years. So what I wanted
hmm.
to say was, if you're together for 3 years, you get to keep the ring in
No, I thought it
Bachelor
was
world.
two.
Oh, maybe they changed it. But I'm like, he should have just gotten her the ring. So at least she would have, had that. But we'll see. Like you said, it's still early. We'll let it play
Well, that's the
out.
thing, he never wanted to get tied down. I mean, there's a lot of rumors that, like, maybe she was giving him an ultimatum, like, by the end of 2024, and that she was kind of waiting on him to figure things out, and it seems like maybe he couldn't commit. There is a narrative that, like, he cheated, and, like, that would be so disappointing and wild, and I don't know if she'll say that or he'll admit that, if that's true, and, like, maybe it's not true at all, but, there's a lot of narratives. I mean, people thought he was hacked, a secret engagement. Like, I think everyone was just so
Mhm.
confused because of how fast this all happened. And
Mhm.
apparently, she was um, on a flight when he posted this and was about to board. Yes. So she couldn't answer her phone for like hours. She had no Wi Fi.
Torture. I
So she
messaged her.
didn't know.
I messaged her just thinking of you and
Oh,
having been through, like, a public breakup, and I was the villain of my season. It's so wild. You see this, like, outpouring, and people are kind of always waiting for the other shoe to drop in these bachelor relationships, but, like, 4 years, let's be honest, that is a long time. If she's talked about on a podcast wanting to get engaged, and she's like, "My
right.
finger's ready," and wanting to start a family. I'm just like, I don't know. I already feel for her, especially if she was blindsided, because when we rolled out our breakup announcement, we gave it to somebody. Like, there's typically, that's what I mean by saying like the
Mm,
worst way to do it. There's like two ways you can go about something. And after 4 years, you should do like a joint statement. I mean, he just threw up this quote, and I can read it here. Uh,
yeah, read it.
if you haven't heard, that's what makes this story, I think, that went so viral. People were like, "Are we getting confused?" So it says, "Father God, give Rachel and I the strength to mend our broken hearts. Give us a peace about this decision to end our relationship that transcends worldly understanding. Shower our friends and family with kindness and love to comfort us, and remind us that our joy comes from you, Lord." And apparently,
Right.
pizza's in London, but
Well, that must have been an old video that, like, I think he wanted to, like, he really maybe liked the content and was just so used to posting, or maybe they got into a fight, like, really quickly and then he posted that. It was just so confusing. What's the rush
right.
of,
And
like,
let
posting that you're, like, broken up? Like, what's the rush? Like, don't you
Mhm.
think you should wait a few weeks to tell the world?
Especially, like you said, in this climate with, like, everything that's going on, the fires and this, and but everybody in the new year in January, like I said, Jessica Alba, who's worth
Mhm.
$550 million, the Honest Company, and Jessica Simpson. I mean, they've been together for 10 years. There's all these breakups, but this one in particular has really, sorry, went viral, and,
Mhm.
Bachelor Nation's strong. So and then it goes to, like, people are like, "Oh, she should date so and so and so and so," and I don't know if you've ever had,
Mhm.
like, severe heartbreak, but can you imagine just she's just sitting there and people are like, "You should date the guy from Southern Charm."
Yeah, I know. Well, because Paige and Craig, another reality TV couple, they had a similar breakup. Just like it really
Mhm.
happens. I mean, I don't know. They were not living together. Neither of the couples were living together. I think that is what maybe most people don't know. Paige
Yes.
and Craig, obviously New York to Charleston, they just couldn't make it work. I think it kind of made sense to fans when they broke up. They were shocked at first, but then it made sense. With Matt and Rachel, we really just don't have context right now. Like Paige did a whole podcast and talked about it for like an hour. So I felt like I got a really good perspective. And you know how they always say, like, if you are dating in the public, you owe us an explanation because it's just not fair to enjoy all the benefits and show off your life. And then all of a sudden, we don't get to know what happened after you made
Yeah, 'cause
us get invested
you
in
have,
your relationship.
like, a horse in the race, like, Victoria Fuller is famous for that, like, she didn't do it,
Oh,
she hasn't
yeah.
even talked about Greg and the breakup, and then she was dating, like, this hot football star, and it's just like they
And
just
they totally
slowly.
broke up too.
So there's 2 ways of going about things, but I just feel for Rachel because she already had a rough hand after the, themed antebellum party, and then that's what Chris
I
Harrison.
know. Yeah.
And then she did this, like, emotional. I've always said, and this might be unpopular opinion, but I kind of has always thought she was out of his league a little bit. He was the first bachelor. I know you're probably not gonna
Wow.
agree. I know, but he was the first bachelor that was kind of not on another season. He might have been
Mm,
on Claire's. He was, like,
mm.
living in a
Claire was
beanbag.
pissed that he
Mhm.
was on
She was
Cameo for charity. I always liked Matt James. I was like, maybe I was in the minority, but I always thought he was really handsome, like tall and handsome. And I just thought, he was like a nice guy and like a cool dude.
right.
And like he never really posted about drama. Like he really was into like running and food and working out and like travel. So I always thought that they were a really cool couple. They always were well dressed. They were always at the coolest events together. Like she's so stunning too, and she's really good at Instagram and just being an influencer.
Stunning. I mean,
Mhm.
she's I can't look away. She's like watching Nicole Kidman. She's just like a
She's
unicorn.
really pretty.
She's, like, really, really pretty. Well, so are you. Well, I thanks for your time. I'm introducing YouTube, and I don't love being on camera. I'm camera shy, so you're
Mm.
my first guest on my StreamYard.
Yay!
I'm learning all the things, but, what's going on with you? So tell us about your travels, since the LA fires. Where have you been? What's been the
Right.
highlight? I heard you were going skiing. I had no clue you were so sporty.
I'm going skiing. I am. Well, I know how to ski. Like my dad was a big skier, my uncle's a skier, so I can ski for like a day. But right now I'm just staying at my uncle's in Colorado, and I'm going to go to Utah next weekend for Sundance or this weekend. So that's going to be really fun. And then I will start heading back to Los Angeles. And I think, by the time I get back in about a week or 10 days, it'll be a lot safer. and less crimes, less arsonists, and should just kind of cool down. I know that there was a lot of like stores out of stock, and it just didn't feel like the safest place to be right now. So I'm on the road, and I'm excited to go back and check on my place and everything in a couple weeks.
Well,
Yeah,
I'll be holding positive thoughts that if you can come through Arizona, please do. You
right.
always have a safe space here. You can always come to Arizona. You are actually in Flagstaff, which is north of where I live, like 2-3 hours north. But
Hmm.
come visit me. We still need a little boozy weekend or brunch weekend or something. I
We
just want
do,
to.
we do.
We need to see you. Well, Zachary, thank you. I'm so sorry. My heart's with you and everybody who's lost their business. And thank you for shedding some light on that for all of us. And we'll talk to you soon. I'm here for grant season, so I'd love to have you
Yes,
back
we're gonna
too.
chat more, guys, and you can check part 2 of my chat with Courtney on my podcast, Zachary Reality. We'll be recording right after this. Bye.
Bye. Until next time. I did it. I ended the recording.